It's been a couple weeks since I uploaded a video. Got back from Puerto Vallarta and had some really bad Mexican wine, but I also found some really good tequila. But you know what? We're not going to be discussing tequila. We are, based on my last whiskey review, which was a wine finished whiskey, we're going to go ahead and discuss another wine finished whiskey. This one's just a little outside the Pacific Northwest. This is a private barrel select from High Spirits out of Poulsbo, Washington, from High West Double Rye, finished in a Syrah wine cask. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Scott, and you've tuned into the Rookie Wine and Whiskey Enthusiast channel, YouTube's primary channel for discussing Washington State or Pacific Northwest wines and spirits, but not exclusively. And as you guys all know, I love my wines. I love a Syrah, but I also love whiskey, and I love wine finished whiskeys especially. And what I found here was, as I was trying to go out to the Washington State Olympic Peninsula, and one of my favorite liquor stores in the entire state to stop by, because not only do they have a good liquor selection and whiskey selection, they also have an amazing wine selection. So shout out to High Spirits out there in Poulsbo. So anyways, before we jump into the whiskey itself, my name is Scott, and you have tuned into the Rookie Wine and Whiskey Enthusiast channel. And so if you do like this content, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Also, if you have anybody that wants any information on Pacific Northwest wines and spirits in particular, share this content. Go ahead and comment down below as well. So let's go ahead and jump in. Now, High West is a distillery out of Park City, Utah. I'm going to pull up my iPad here because this is their double rye. Okay, and I want to make sure I get as much information on this as correct as possible. Their double rye is a blend of straight rye whiskeys. Okay, 95% rye, 5% malt, barley malt from MGP, which is multi-grain products out of I believe it's Lawrenceburg, Indiana. 80% rye, 20% malted rye from High West Distillery themselves. The stuff that they've gone ahead and distilled themselves. So they don't tell you what the percentages are though, but they are both blends at a minimum of 2 years. Now, what's different about this double rye, okay, number one, normally the double rye comes in at, what's the alcohol by volume? Normally I think it's 90 proof. You know what? It actually doesn't. Oh, there it is. Comes in at 92 proof. Now this, because this is a High Spirits, actually went ahead, purchased a barrel from High West, and finished it for an additional 9 months in a Syrah class barrel 17241. And yes, finished. They basically took the blended whiskey, put it in a Syrah cask for another 9 months, and barreled it specifically for them. Now, rye whiskeys tend to be spicy. They can be interesting with regards to things like clover and herbs, but also have a sweetness to them. And what I'm really looking forward to on this is whether or not the Syrah cask, whether or not 9 months really was able to give some of the fruity rock fruit minerality to the whiskey itself. Now, because it's a private barrel, it's going to be typically higher proof. This one comes in at 51.1%. This is bottle number 145. So, and I don't know if you've ever seen a High West bottle. I've got another one here. It's usually pretty plain, but it looks like for the barrel select, there's kind of a shimmery note or the label's a little bit more glossy, not glossy, but has a kind of a foil glare to it. By the way, High West really is a very, very good distillery, and this is their American Prairie bourbon. If you guys want, maybe I'll do a review of that as well. I also, this time of year, they do have another port finish rye called a Midwinter's Night's Dram. Absolutely out of this world. Love it. I am desperate to try to find a bottle of it. But unfortunately right now, it's running at about $169 a bottle. This particular bottle, High Spirits had for $69 a bottle. And I'm looking forward to it. So let's go ahead and jump right into the, well, let's take a look at the color first. There is a deep, deep amber color to that with a little bit of a red tint. Let's go ahead on the nose. That very famous rye nose, and I am getting some mint on this. I'm getting some cinnamon. Your very basic baking spices, maybe a little bit of nutmeg in there too. Definitely some chocolate, but I am getting a little bit of a fruit note. Now, depending on who did the Syrah cask, these guys are out of Park City, Utah. I believe they were purchased by one of the largest wine, was it Constellation? I'll have to go double check, but I know they were purchased, and I believe the company that purchased them also has very large holdings in several large wine companies. So it'd be interested to know who they got the Syrah wine barrel from. I'm hoping it's a Washington State or an Oregon wine barrel, but you know what? Who knows? Yeah, the fruit on it that I am getting comes across more as a, not strawberry, but a very red fruit, almost like a red currant. There's a little bit of sweetness in there as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a sip. I am getting an intense clove honey sweetness on the front of the palate. The herbs come through with a mix of really dark chocolate. Oh, I gotta have another sip of this. Oh my goodness. Okay. There's a hint of that licorice note that ryes are really known for. But I think the wine cask, now I've had the double rye before, and I was kind of expecting the licorice note, but I think the wine cask has really tempered that down. So if you don't like that licorice note on ryes, and I know it's kind of polarizing, this is definitely a rye that will take you and say, you know what, we're going to go ahead, step back. We're going to allow some of those complex herbal notes, the sweetness. Like I said, when I tasted it, I got a clove honey right on the front of the palate. The finish on this is nice and long. There is a slight Kentucky hug, but other than that, I am getting that nutmeg, the cinnamon, the baking spice. Matter of fact, there's my dog barking. Matter of fact, this reminds me of a Midwinter's Night's Dram. Boy, you know what? Let me see. I'm gonna reach down to my cabinet here. I think it's in this one. This is my last bottle of a Midwinter's Night's Dram. And Midwinter's Night's Dram is basically the blended straight rye whiskey is similar to this, except done in port casks. And holy smokes, that is really good. Very complex. I'm still getting a lingering finish. This is a very long finish on this. Okay. I am getting a little bit of that menthol note, or not menthol, but eucalyptus. That's what I'm looking for, is eucalyptus. It's refreshing. It draws you in, that red fruit, that red currant. It's a little bit of raspberry as well. Oh, I do like this. I really do like this. Anyways, if you've had High West Double Rye, let me know down in the comments down below. Have you had any other wine finished rye whiskeys from High West? Or is there another company out there that's taken a rye whiskey? And those that know me, yeah, I do like bourbon, I do like scotch, but when it comes to whiskeys, American single malts and American rye whiskeys, I think those have the potential to actually be intense and allow for those wine barrel finishes out there. I think High West, you hit a home run on this one here. I don't really want to give you a point schedule. Matter of fact, I'm going to start, and I'm going to discuss this a little bit later. I'm going to start getting away from the point schedule on both my wines and the whiskeys because, you know what? Point schedules mean nothing, to be honest with you, and I was just kind of trying to go with the flow. I'm just going to say whether or not I like it or not. So anyways, let me know down in the comments down below. Please go ahead, comment, like, share this content. Also, when you do subscribe, don't forget to subscribe. The little bell icon is going to pop up. When the bell icon, make sure you click all and not personalize. That way, when I do upload these types of videos, you guys are notified. So that being said, folks, especially high spirits out in Poulsbo, thank you very much for selecting this. This is a wonderful barrel. I hope you sell out of everything. But not before I go back up and get myself a second bottle of this. This thing is amazing. So, thank you very much, everybody. As always, life is too short for either bad wine or bad whiskey. The election's over, folks. Whiskey helps. Cheers.